Babyliciouses! Welcome to Babes in the Conclave, a Traitors podcast where a couple of queers talk crushes, gay drama, and strategy. Today, we are covering the Traitors Quebec Season 3, Episodes 7 and 8. Je m'appelle Annabel, je suis Fidel, and joining me is mon amour, ChiliPhilly.
Bonjour.
Oh, Phillicent, how I've missed you.
No, I know. Do you know what? It's really weird because, okay, sorry to everybody, but the reason why we keep doing these like double episodes is because that's just whomever is doing the subtitle.
Who we love and appreciate.
Yes, we do.
We
But
love
that's just
and
how
appreciate.
they're releasing it. So we're only recapping as we are like short of us learning French fluently. This is the speed of which we're responding.
Absolutely. And like in the meantime, I've watched the Traitors Turkey. I'm kicking off a Hungry season 3 podcast recap with Sarah Carradine. And then tomorrow, Traitors New Zealand premieres.
Yeah, I know. So, I guess I can verbalize. So I will be doing. You're not doing it. It's me and Jane.
Yes!
So Jane, finally getting Jane to actually talk about her own version of the Traitors.
Yes!
After all these years.
I know, it's so exciting. I can't wait for New Zealand to come back. So Philly and Jane Massey of Jane, our Traitors icon from New Zealand season 2, are going to be covering here in Babes in the Conclave. I'm going to be with Puya on We Know the Traitors. Like, honestly, thank God I'm probably being made redundant imminently because this is becoming a full-time job.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, the time investment you'll be able to have. Soon you'll be raking in the podcast dollars.
Oh, we can only pray. We got loads of really nice comments, which I forgot to pull up ahead. Let me just read some of these out because people have been, I feel like people commented and have been very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So last week we had, so many. Look at this. From Savannah, Misk says, you consistently make me laugh out loud. So thank you both for that. It's interesting you brought up Genevieve's doe-eyed look as a faithful versus her face as a traitor. In the Revelation segment, Hillary even yells to Carol, "Did you see her face?" Oh, obsessed. People did not understand the purpose of the mission either. And yes, we did have the scenario where the ultimatum may have been given to a player with a shield, but no one else can remember the details either. It might have been in Canada with the traitor being Coco. Who knows? Someone else can look it up. Anyway, we love and appreciate all of our listeners. Thank you. And to kick off this week, I feel like I need to talk about Bold Justin for a minute. Because again, it was another 2 episodes of me seething with quiet rage at Bold Justin.
Yeah.
But I was reflecting, Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when Audrey was being the absolute worst and the absolute best last season, we're like, slay, iconic, nailing it. In Bold Justin's defense, all of this outrageous truth-telling, all of this audacity aubergine he's eating. He's pulling it off. He's seeming quite trustworthy. He has a lot of friends, and he's hiding behind these women who are a lot more assertive and perceived as much bigger threats than him. If I'm looking at the faithful, Justin is the one I see with the most win equity.
Yeah, and do you know what I realized? You just connected it. Audacity, aubergine, Audrey. It's all related. The AU, the AU-ness of it all. Yeah. So maybe it's that maybe you need to have audacity aubergine to succeed. Bacon.
I think so.
The pure and simple bacon, bad. You don't
pure
want
and simple
that.
Bacon, very bad.
But
a bit of audacity, I think.
Yes, you need the aubergine in your life. Now you pointed that out. Like everybody else has either some sort of heat or their actions are implicated them harder than. Like, he actually is the most clear now thinking about it. He's the only one who has no suspicion.
I mean, again, and I don't want to make out like Bald Justin is the best player ever, because he's not. Like, there are times where his honesty, including in this episode we're about to talk about, actively shoots him in the foot, and he shouldn't get away with the things that he's getting away with. Like, I also think it's in large part luck, which it always is for the faithful. Luck that two of his closest friends from the beginning are both traitors. Luck that he is aligned, like that. I mean, that's skill as well, that he's aligned with two really outspoken other players. I don't know. He's just getting away with a lot of things I don't think he would get away with in most scenarios. But I also don't want to discount that he chose those people to build relationships with. I don't know. It's not cut and dry. I'm going to bitch about Bold Justin for the next hour. So I just wanted to start with, actually, I think Bold Justin might be playing this game quite well, but I don't care. It's making me really mad.
Yeah, I thought your point was going to be, we thought Audrey was so slay with her audacity, and we are so irate about Justin, and we probably shouldn't be such hypocrites.
Sorry, can you say that again? My mum called and it cut off my headphones.
Do you know what? Maybe that was a good sign. You can listen back to that, Annabel. You did not need to hear that.
All right, okay. Wait. I'm inferring that I was wrong and Bold Justin was actually really sexy, because that is never coming out of my mouth.
Oh, no. Oh, well, not to fast forward to the mission, but of course, Sexy Steve had to be the one in the dick harness.
Oh, of course, Sexy Steve was in the dick harness. I'm actually kind of coming around on, I still wouldn't say I find him sexy, but I'm certainly starting to find Peter Steve-O more appealing.
Yeah. See, I caught on 4 episodes ago, but I think it was in correlation with Bald Justin.
Yeah, you just like all bald men. Like, that's not, oh my God, I saw his inner specialness.
No. That would be, I don't know. Actually, it's none of them.
Okay, let's kick off episode 7. So, Patrick totally trusts Peter Steve-O. Nada the drama, who is going to be the drama for the next 2 episodes. In this particular episode, she's turning on her man, Robert. Robert, who loves her, who thinks she's his traitor guardian angel. He'll say in La Révélation that he's thought she's a traitor this whole time, but he didn't tell anyone because she was his guardian angel. And Corinne's like, yeah, but everyone was mad at you because you wouldn't give a traitor's name. Like, maybe you should have just given
her up
a name.
Yeah.
Anyway, he breathes and it's suspicious. Elaine is looking sexy and butch. Sexy Steve, Sexy Steve is so proud of coaching Genevieve to find her voice.
Yes.
By the end of episode 8, I think he's gonna feel that maybe she should shut up again.
Yeah. Too loud now.
Too loud. Shush. Shushies. And there's this kind of sense that maybe, Camille Rose, sister of Audrey, maybe the traitors are going to be sticking together. And that does seem to be the vibe. That will no longer be the vibe by the end of episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
But to kick off our series of what I think were great predictions that we made last time we caught up, fake news Caroline is dead. Philly, what did you think?
I was like, that was not me.
that was Puffy Fluffykins who did not care for it.
But maybe I had the same reaction. But I would hope, I mean, in a positive sense, I was like, yes.
It was a sexy growl when you did it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was, because that's what we predicted, right? It was Caroline, not Javier. Yeah. So, good choice. It was worth it. It did also start to snowball the sort of what we had anticipated would start to happen with her going as well.
Yes. Yes, I think so. I mean, what was hilarious is that Jacob, mustache circus freak Jacob, his big takeaway from the murder of Fake News Caroline and Hillary is, we are going to be murdering people who make good arguments.
Mm.
And I was honestly, truly deceased. I couldn't, Phil.
Yeah. All the smart people are going.
All the ones on the money who know what's up, they're all done for.
Oh, do you know what? We haven't said it very much this season, but the loud and wrongs are the loud and wrongs.
Yeah, I actually think Tranna is possessing a lot of people this season.
It's her bilingualness.
Yeah, she is there in Quebec, and her spirit has just been zoing from one person to another. Like, it's Nada at the moment, but it has been Fake News Caroline, it's Hillary.
Oh, it's even Sexy Steve when he delivers his speeches.
Sexy Steve loves giving a sanctimonious speech.
You learning how to possess everyone, not just via
She
hat.
really. I can also see why Sexy Steve and synagoguist Manuel are friends. Like, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, all of these connections are all making sense now.
Like, they're both the people who turn up to the casual pub hang wearing suits.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see
and
that.
Honestly, I love them both.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not mad. I'm not bad at that.
No. So post-breakfast, like, Jacob... Justin is in with everyone. Bull Justin. I don't know why, but they're all obsessed with him. Jacob runs off and corners Justin and is like, I know that, like, you are best friends with all of the people I'm about to name, but Fake News Caroline was looking at Nada. I personally am sus on Genevieve and Camille Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Justin too. Justin is kind of like, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my girls a little bit. It is weird. Why is Camille Rose still alive? But obviously, Justin jobs in Jacob because this is going to turn off Camille Rose big time. And she's going to be like pulling his mustache out hair by hair at the round table.
Yeah.
Javier, he's like, Jacob is so shady. I'm like, T-Babe, it's the mustache. But Nada is on Robert's neck, is not going to be getting off. Genevieve starts seeding PS's name. So poor old Peter Stevo, he starts to get a few strays. And Robert tells Sexy Steve, you're the white knight and pillar of justice.
Mm.
I mean, so we do see here early, like, people are kind of like, I guess, like, Jacob is thinking, could be Genevieve, could be Camille Rose. Other people are like, oh, Genevieve, she's too sweet and cute to be a traitor. And if she is, Queen, this is the message that's going to flow through these 2 episodes. Why is Camille here? Genevieve, wouldn't it be funny if she was a traitor?
Yeah.
This has got to pay off, surely, in the next episode.
Yeah, I think yes, it has to. But yeah, it has to. I was going to say predictions. We'll wait for that.
Yeah, like, in one way or another, we're starting to gain a little bit of momentum. So, going into the mission, Karine, fluffy green hat with blue slip.
Yep.
Genevieve had some very hot looks
Oh,
this episode,
yeah.
actually.
Like the boob. What? It must have been a top. It just was like cleavage with like a clasp. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, she had like a little bralette top underneath a blazer in the evening. And I thought, like, she looked really hot in the oversized T-shirt and backwards hat.
Yeah.
I've not done a deep dive because I'm really, like, on the Instagrams because I'm really scared I'm going to find out Genevieve and Elaine are straight.
No.
So, I mean,
I'm going to do background research.
Yeah. Do you? Yeah, I just don't want to find out that they're heterosexual. It'll really disappoint me.
Okay.
This was the treasure hunt mission. So they've been shackled to in pairs, and they've got to run around looking for gold coins and shields. And the traitors have filled out a questionnaire the night before. So it's like basically touchy subjects. What did the traitors say? And they have told my sweet Queen Elaine that she doesn't deserve to participate in this mission. And she's sobbing, and I'm furious.
When she was sobbing, I was like, that was like a moment.
Yeah.
Like they gave time for that.
Oh, and her post-mission is so good. I just feel like, so there was a little bit of drama here, mostly caused by Bold Justin. But do you remember, wasn't there drama when this was in Canada with Lisette? I feel like Lisette caused a lot of drama
I think,
here.
do you know what? Not that Lisette, she may or may not be listening to this, but Lisette, I think about you all the time while I watch this show, because you did so much.
You did so much heavy lifting.
Like all of your reactions to everything, she was bringing that to this.
Yeah, she deserves to be here really all the time. Anyway, so whatever, there's a bunch of touchy subjects. None of the answers seem to really cause a lot of drama. The tea is all with the shields. So Jacob and Javier find a shield. Jacob has it, but they're like, obviously, because they're not morons.
Yes.
They're not going to tell anybody.
Yes.
So that they're both safe.
Yes.
In fact, they don't even really at the start want to tell anyone at all. They have shields full stop. Anyway, but they do because of Javier. Anyway, but then Nada and bloody Bull Justin. So Nada finds the shield, which they immediately tell Genevieve and Camille Rose. But then as soon as they get back, Justin is blabbing to everyone. He's like, everyone, my team found a shield. My team found a shield. Then Nada finds a shield as well. And he's like, just so everyone knows, Nada and I have shields. And I get it. His whole thing in this game is radical honesty. And so it was so unbelievably satisfying when this goes back to bite them at the end of this episode.
Yeah, I hated this, Annabel.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the things that it was just so self-satisfying. It was like,
yes.
So, because this twist, obviously, as a twist-screwed person from a reality TV show, it's like, I don't give a shit if you get twist-screwed. It's a fucking game. Like, because of this twist, it's clearly going to be us that is going to be targeted and blah, blah, blah. So everybody should do what's not in their best interest to ensure that we aren't the... Whatever. Like, I hated it. Sorry, Justin. I like you, but I didn't like that.
Let's jump to that because, so later in the evening, it's the twist we saw in Canada where everyone who has a shield has to hand off a shield to someone else. And apparently in this scenario, the people who started with an original shield can't get one back. Jacob and Javier, great, because they didn't say who had it, so they can now just swap it. But motherfucking Bold Justin, you're right, I was so angry. He calls everyone, he holds court. He's like, all right, so obviously Nada and I, they're going to know, are the only two people who are guaranteed not to have a shield. That means that the traitors are most likely to murder Nada or I tonight. If you hand off if Jacob and Javier also hand off the shields in secret, or we hand off the shields in secret. So, even though that status quo means all of the rest of you are therefore less likely to be murdered, because it's more likely to be Nada and I, fuck you all. I've just invented a new rule. Javier and Jacob, you've got to give up implicit immunity, and we are all going to publicly hand off our shields here because that's exclusively better for Nada and I.
Yeah. And it's like, at the end of the day, those two were in this 5-person alliance where some of them did have shields, right? Or was very least Genevieve got one, right? It's like, they could have just been saved anyway and nobody would have known. Awful.
If they hadn't told everyone they both had shields, they could have pretended that they still had one.
Yeah. Because maybe this is his PTSD of being in these groups where they've weird immunity things 2 weeks in a row or 2 missions in a row. But it's like, no. At, at what point did. Because this is the weird inverse effect of now shields aren't part of the missions in a way that it gives large shield strategy. Like shield strategy is redundant in the sense of what it was in the first early seasons of English speaking traders. Like when they used to be split up and then they went to the thing and they opened the box and it's like, who has the shield?
Yeah.
And it's almost like the inverse effect was like let's play a little bit tricky with the shields. Now it's evolved to no. We are not shield strategizing ever, even when it's a valuable thing ever. Like they just decide they
not evolved.
Yeah, they throw it in the bin.
This is Justin.
Yeah.
It's just Justin. And this is the thing. If he had kept his mouth shut, we would have got here. He could bring in Camille Rose. He could even bring in Genevieve, give them the shields and tell everybody else, between the four of us, there are 2 shields. Guess who?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, they could have, but no, because he's such a smug little prick who had to tell everybody in the first place. And it was so audacious. Like, Jacob is then like, oh, well, actually, that doesn't really work for Javier and I, because in this scenario, we're both protected. In your scenario, neither of us are protected. And he's like, oh, no, that's not my plan. My plan is you giving your shields up publicly. I'm like, the audacity aubergine in this moment made me livid, and the fact that nobody questioned it, like that Jacob, because, and this is the other thing, right, like that foursome have so much power because and it's not even that they've got more friends, they don't actually. At this stage in the game, the other side has more friends, but because they're the loudest and the most aggressive, like Camille Rose, Nada, Justin, and Genevieve are dictating the game. Jacob and Javier don't feel like they can say, no, that really doesn't work in anyone's interest except for yours, Justin. Why on earth would anyone do that?
Yeah.
Because then he knows that Justin's going to set his attack dogs on them. And they're going to be destroyed, and everyone will go along with it because everyone is such sheeps.
And do you know what's also a little bit annoying in terms of like Justin doing this and Camille Rose going along with it and all this sort of stuff? It's like, if you guys were smart, obviously they all trust each other or whatever. But let's say amongst their group of 4, they had one shield that was meant to be protecting them. Oh, if Genevieve or Peter Stevo decide that they're going to murder one of them, well, then clearly somebody in your group.
Yes.
Like, there's no.
Exactly.
Do you know what's actually, now I said that out loud, do you know what's really annoying about this group of faithful is that they're all not, we've gone so far now, there's actually not that many people left. They are all not for setting traps.
No. They're so, and I blame Justin for setting that culture.
Yeah.
So like it's Camille Rose and Nada are the round table enforcers.
Yeah.
Genevieve is the conclave enforcer.
Yeah.
But Justin is the person who has said, I want to set this culture where any like strategizing or gameplay beyond what I do and what I want, any dishonesty is not okay and you need to be banished.
Yeah.
But then it's okay for him to keep in people who he thinks are traitors because they're his guardian angels.
Yeah.
It's okay for him to come at Patrick when Patrick can't even speak. Like, whatever Justin does is okay. But if anybody else dare try and like play the game a little bit, it's just really annoying, and it's sucking the oxygen out of the game.
Yeah.
And like, I think this is why I'm like, he's playing well because he's accumulated so much power. Like, Nada and Camille Rose decide between the 2 of them who goes home at this round table.
Yep.
And they are the ones who are responsible for getting Patrick at the next. But it just, as a viewer, is making it really frustrating to watch.
Yeah, because then also in saying that, it's like then you can also see how he's managed to cultivate capital with the Sexy Steves and Elaine's and stuff like that. Because those actions also align with what they are perceiving as the strategy of honesty or directness or bad-spokenness or whatever. So there's no duplicitous in that. So that's why amongst everybody now, he's just cultivated that power. So it's like a weird, funny thing because it's good. Like he's succeeding, but it's also frustrating, like you said.
It's giving Boston Robin Redemption Island, and I'm like, no one enjoyed watching that season, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, Robert, I didn't really feel like there's anything else to say about the mission. It was just a real snooze fest.
No. I didn't. Do you know what? I didn't even remember watching it the first time.
No, that's so fair. So, like, post-mission, Robert's like, well, just because I'm not talking enough, it doesn't make me a traitor. And Javier is feeling guilty about the pylon. And Robert's kind of trying to throw it on Jacob, who hilariously spies on the conversation. Camille Rose and Robert are having a little goss about him. He's nervous. But Robert is going hard, trying to rally the votes. And in fairness, like, Camille Rose does end up voting for Jacob in this episode, but the Nada, Justin, Genevieve, leave her out. They're sticking with Robert here. My favorite part of this episode, and there weren't many, but this was it, is when Queen Helene comes back, having been excluded from the mission. She's clearly salty. And she comes into, like, is it the bar room where there's some men sitting around having a drink. And she kind of stands over them glaring. She's got that classic cop build as well.
Yeah.
She's clearly salty. They are shook. She tells them, if they want to take me out, I hope they have the balls to do it at the table and not behind my back at night. Which isn't that aggressive, but the way she says it and the way she's staring, like, there's this extent. Yeah, PS is sweating. Javier's jaw drops. Like, just the energy she brings is so scary. Like, it was hilarious.
I loved it. PS, like, literally freaking out right in front of her, stressing, like, he was like wearing a hat or had a hood on or something. And he was just like, yes, I guess. How annoying of them.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, I just love Elaine's presence. She's so fun. Like, meanwhile, Nada tips Camille Rose off. She's like, Jacob was spying on you. She's like, oh my God, I'm dead. If he doesn't go out tonight, he's going to murder me. Nada's like, oh, he's not even the traitor, it's Robert, whatever. Patrick and Nada have a little chat. He's like, I think I'm going to vote for Elaine because, like, that's who I think might be a traitor. And she's like,
Bury that.
She's like, no, you are taking a stand and you have to vote Robert or Jacob because Camille Rose and I say so. He's like, okay, if that's what you want. I'm like, this episode is just women grabbing men by the balls and twisting.
Yeah, well, which in that sense, we do love this episode.
Yeah. Like, they're the enforcers. The women are the enforcers. I'm not like, I know I had a big rant about it. Like, I'm enjoying the season. I am. And, like, I love that this is a season of badass women and, like, floppy ass men. But I just want to see, especially because we've had so much fun with Quebec. When you think about how much fun there was in season 2, so many crazies in season 1, I'm just getting kind of annoyed that there's no, the underdogs don't have a chance. They're being steamrolled by this group of young people, and I don't know. It's not as fun. I'm not having as much fun.
Well, it's as you say, every week, all the crazies have been already banished and murdered. So like, seriously, Bald Justin is the crazy of the season.
Oh my God, don't even say that. So, Robert's very pleased with himself going into the round table. He's come up with a great line. His line is, it's hat versus mustache. He likes it so much he says it multiple times.
He shakes his hand. Do you know what? Somebody had just watched my random one episode of Survivor. That might as well have been called Hat versus mustache because I had both.
The hat and mustache.
Yeah. Oh, dreadful.
Well, okay. So this round table, not that great. It's mostly just them, Nada like railing on Robert, and then Camille Rose railing on Jacob. She's then like, Jacob's like, I don't know. I don't know who's a traitor, but I feel like it might be you, Camille Rose. And Camille Rose is like, you're just saying that. So when you murder me tonight, it'll look less suspicious tomorrow. So you can claim you were being set up. It's all a setup, but really it's you, Jacob. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Camille Rose, you're kind of setting yourself up to be murdered here now. So it is that scenario.
Yeah, like, when she did that as well. When she did that as well, I also was just like, this group, as in this mini alliance, I'm like, do you guys mind? Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And I think I might have made some sort of similar-ish comment last time we recapped, but like, I really think that this is like a good example of a bunch of people who who understand the meta of it all, but the application is like not. It's like, then I have guardian angels, and then if I vocalize it, they're not going to murder me, and then this is going to happen if I do this, and then we're going to have a final four, and we're going to vote out this person, and it's like, okay, but there are other people here. There's twists. None of you are traitors. Like, just because that's something that's played out in front of your eyes before doesn't mean you're fulfilling that prophecy by saying it.
Totally. They're being rabid gamer squirrels. In a game, you can't really game as a faithful.
Yeah.
Like, yes, obviously we all would love a traitor guardian angel who takes us to the end and we know exactly who that traitor is and we out them. And, like, Justin may find himself in that scenario if he's lucky, but Camille Rose isn't going to get that far. Nada's not going to get that far. Like, you can't. Yeah, anyway, this isn't Survivor or Big Brother.
No, I think seriously, when Rob, sorry, Traitors US discussion / chat / spoilers, but when Rob had his deep dive and was crying about the advice he'd given him, and you basically said it's a random ass game, like just make the most of it. Like, I really think people watch the Traitors and still think it's a game that they can have control over, and they don't understand until they play it that it's just not. It's so random. Even when you watch it, it's so random. Like, it's not real. Like, it's not real, but it's not, like, controllable.
They either think they can game it or they're like, well, you can't game it, so it's a stupid show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can it not just be a fun
game?
Yeah.
Yeah, can't you guys play detective?
Yeah. Can't you just like...
I miss when they used to just be like, Annabel, you wore a funny hat today. Suspicious.
Oh, bring back the crazies. Anyway, Camille Rose, basically she's just super lucky that she's super tight with Genevieve because she's really... Anyway, Robert ends up being eliminated here. Nada, Genevieve, and Bull Justin vote for him, but so does Sexy Steve, Circus Freak Jacob, Elaine, and Javier. Over voting for Jacob, we've got Camille Rose and Peter Stevo, who are apparently very tight. Robert and Patrick. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually seeing like these kind of alliances here, which we'll break down at the end. But Jacob, Elaine, and Sexy Steve and Javier have pretty consistently been voting together.
Yeah.
In the same way that Nada, Justin, Genevieve, Camille Rose, and Peter Stevo are usually together. They obviously deviate here, but you definitely can divide the house that way.
Yeah.
Nada's having a big cry about how she's defending the wrong person and she's so influential, but spoiler alert, it's not going to stop her. Camille Rose reveals to Genevieve it was all a cunning plan. Now the traitors can't kill me because obviously Jacob wouldn't kill me now. So I'm going to run around and tell everyone so a traitor hears all about how super cunning this plan was. I'm like, oh my God. Justin comes over and he's telling Camille Rose, crazy you're still here, Camille Rose. One of the two guys, either Patrick or Peter Stevo, is protecting you. All right, he's half cooking. Unfortunately, they're going to go with Patrick here. And this is when Genevieve gets this cursed shield, and we have that whole twist that we bitched about earlier where the shields have to be handed off. The twist of handing the shields off is all the guys, to kind of make it seem less sus, that there's now a murder in plain sight. The traitors have to hand off a cursed shield to someone who's going to die. And this is where the drama happens.
Yeah.
So Genevieve sees it. You know, they're all running around. Justin's like, it's Patrick, it's Patrick, it's Patrick. She pulls aside Peter Stevo. She's like, Peter Stevo, this is your turn. I'm not fucking doing this. Your problem. By the way, I'm telling you who we have to murder. We've got to murder Patrick, obviously. But you're murdering Patrick. You're his friend. Go for it. He's not keen. He's like, absolutely no. This just feels like you're throwing me under the bus. She's pissed off. He's pissed off. She's like, I'm not throwing you under the bus. Why would you say I'm throwing you under the bus? He's like, I don't want to murder him. So he takes the shield, convinces Patrick there's probably still a shield hanging around from the mission and they should go treasure hunting for it. And like, theoretically, he's going to leave the shield out for Patrick to find. I'm like, protect fucking poor Patrick at all costs. I love that PS chickened out and Patrick didn't get murdered here.
Because, well, it's like, I was thinking about it just then, or even earlier when we were talking about the Justin thing. It's like, the Justin thing also makes this infinitely harder because now he's removed the mechanic of the secret swapping that the producers had instilled, that he completely nullifies it. And now Peter Stevo has to look like a complete random handing a shield that was not publicly accessed or seen by anybody. So now I express that out loud. I can see why PS really thought it was a harder task to do, because he was basically put in a scenario where he would have just immediately looked sus. But, and yeah, when he didn't end up now saying that out loud, yeah, now it makes sense that he didn't do it. Like,
or just no, but he could have left it out for someone to find.
Well, that's what he should have done. What he should have done was just left it out for Patrick to find if he didn't want to feel bad for doing it. That being said, like, it could have been to his benefit, like if Camille Rose picked it up or something. I don't know. Yeah. Or Justin.
Yeah, who cares who picks it up at this point?
Well, he's not even he's a middle player anyway. Like, it doesn't matter.
Well, he's kind of with them, actually. Like, PS is really close with Camille Rose.
Well, no, he is with them, but others could also include him. Like, the Patrick side. Like,
yeah. He could do what he wants. I just think he should have left it out. It doesn't really matter anyway. Like, and I'm not even going to celebrate Bald Justin for shutting down the murder in plain sight.
No.
Because he doesn't even realize that that's a cover for a murder in plain sight. Like, why is this evening dragging on and they're making us do this? This is what happens when there's a murder in plain sight.
Yeah, the producers would have been like, okay, let's give them an extra 2 hours so they can shuffle around. And as soon as they read the letter, Justin's like, everybody do it right now. And the producer
everyone and the producer's like, fuck you, Bald Justin.
Damn it.
So PS didn't murder Patrick last night, and Peter Stevo hates Genevieve now. He's like, she tried to throw me under the bus. She thinks she can use me as a pawn. Well, fuck her. I'm going to take her out. Genevieve hates Peter Stevo for being useless. She's like, he doesn't even deserve to be a traitor. He can't even kill someone. Like, I had to do... This is so odd. She's like, I had to do all of this stuff where we had the shields out and we had to, or like the necklaces out, we had to find each other. I'm like, I'm sorry, bitch. Lest we forget you didn't. You got in trouble with Karine because you didn't.
Yeah, you famously didn't actually do that.
Yes.
And also, P.S., you can't say, well, P.S., you have to do this because I did this once. One, you didn't do it. And two, he wasn't even a part of that.
You flopped. You flopped. So he can have a little flop as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're going to spend the day pretending to be totally fine with each other while sort of gently putting each other's names out there. This, to be honest, doesn't seem to be a major loss for them anyway, because everyone is convinced Patrick is the traitor. I guess because he actually tried to play the game with a shield strategy when it wasn't strictly authorized by Bold Justin, and also because he's watched the show before and has a notebook on it. Suspicious!
Yeah, all these fans of the show being like, how dare this fan of the show be a fan of the show?
Disgusting. Also, apparently, this was the last episode for them to do a recruitment. So they can still do blackmails after this episode, but it was the last chance for them to do a seduction. So everyone's again, no one's like, wow, that shield mix-up right at the last minute was really weird, and we've not kind of had a big murder in plain sight yet. They're like, no, someone was recruited. And it was Patrick.
Actually, now you said that out loud, I'm like, yeah, what? The fact that they immediately did not assume that it was because they tried to murder somebody.
Anyway, whatever. Has Sexy Steve always had, like, quite a thick goatee, or did he grow it in?
No, I think he always had the facial hair.
He always had it. Okay. Peter Stevo has a little cry at breakfast as well. Anyway, today, Nada has decided it's time to ruin Patrick's life. Genevieve later is going to be like, yeah, I was going to murder Nada, but actually her reads are so bad. She's doing so much heavy lifting for me, and I love it. Mm-hmm. Sexy Steve has questions for Bold Justin. He's like, Bold Justin, why are you like that? And Bold Justin's like, I'm a natural leader, okay? I'm just a natural leader. And he's outraged. How dare Sexy Steve question him? So he pulls aside his attack squad, Camilla, Rose, and Nada, and he's like, maybe we should ruin Sexy Steve's life instead. But Nada's like, no, I hate Patrick, and we're going to ruin Patrick. Patrick has his eyes on Elaine. He thinks she's been recruited, and Nada, who's his OG, but we don't love that he doesn't love a strong, ferocious woman, but it's still a little bit of a lighthearted, ooh, wouldn't it be iconic if it was Genevieve? Nobody else is cooking. But you know who is cooking? Mustached circus freak Jacob is starting to cook, Phil. Do you feel like a little bit justified now? Because you were his earliest apologist.
Yeah, no, sorry, everybody, plot twist. I think my Crush Pyramid is going to be very different from what it has been the last few weeks.
So Mustache Jacob, he's like, it's actually insane Camilla Rose is still in the game. She's a gamer with absolutely no sus on her. Like, at least people bring up Nada's name. Why is she still here? You know, she was even though Illyri claimed all the credit for it, she was fairly instrumental the 2 times we actually got out traitors. So it's either her and or one of her friends, Genevieve and Peter Stevo. He's like, the combinations. He's like, it's either Genevieve and Peter Stevo, ding, 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 or Genevieve and Camille Rose. He's like, but they've recruited Patrick to throw him under the bus. I'm like, oh, okay, we're so close. We're so close. And everyone else is running around totally, like, so far off the mark, it's not funny. Even with Peter Stevo and Genevieve trying to throw each other under the bus, everyone's just shutting it down.
Yeah, because do you know what I was just thinking just then? I think everybody's strong assertion that it was a recruitment instead of a potential try to murder somebody who they knew had a shield. Polly is what contributed to the Patrick element to what Jacob was thinking. I'm sure, because all the bits were fine, except now because everybody thought it was a recruitment, now they had to create a reason why somebody would have been recruited. So I think everybody else messed it up by just thinking it was a recruitment.
And also why Patrick? Like, at this point, Patrick's name has barely been coming up. Justin came up with Patrick literally last night and was sharing it with some friends and nada. Like, only your lot were thinking that it was Patrick.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you think, well, Jacob, we all think Jacob was a traitor for a few days now. He's been the person who has been getting the second amount of votes. So either Jacob was already a traitor or Jacob has been recruited. Let's just go for it.
Yeah.
Like, where did all this certainty on Patrick come with no evidence at all?
Because he had a dossier that he told Genevieve about.
It was crazy to me. But Karine arrives as sexy toilet paper. Can we talk about the sexy toilet paper outfit?
I don't remember this from last time. I think this is
I think this is new.
This is
I think
definitely
this is new.
Because I would have remembered a sheet of paper walking into the room.
It looked like 2 sheets of toilet paper and blown up, enormous, stitched together. Yeah, and she sort of just wobbles. Like, that has got to... It's when so Philly and I have committed. This Halloween, we're both going as Karine, and we're trying to work out. Boob pillow, definitely in there. I think for me, it depends on how snatched I am by October.
Same.
Because if I'm not snatched, it could be sexy toilet paper.
Yeah, because, we have a couple of midriff outfits. We have boobs.
So many midriff.
Okay, Philly 5. Blah, 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 blah.
Philly 5!
Yeah, to discuss our Halloween outfits, we have boob pillow and, like, boob clutch or boob purse.
So this episode we've got, purse tits with the... what I was calling assless chaps, but you correctly identified when we watched it in Canada that it's actually booty shorts with thigh-high boots, so thigh-high, they come up to your ass.
Yeah.
Which I love. So I think, for me, it's like, do I want to do purse tits with assless chaps, or do I want to do sexy toilet roll?
Okay, because then are my 2 options then boob pillow or Madam Web?
Or Madam Web. I mean, if you want to do, you have the ass to pull off the assless chaps.
True.
You could do that.
Well, they'd be booty shorts. That's the thing. So you might have the real booty for the booty short boots look.
I think I could just do it with like a G-banger,
Yeah, true. Well, let's find a party that we can rock that to.
Yeah. In the parties we're going to, I think it'll be perfectly acceptable. No one will even notice.
Oh, yeah.
We'll rock up and not a single man there will notice.
And everybody will be like, nice outfit. And we're like, oh, I'm dressed as Karine, host of Traitors Canada and Quebec, as Boob Pillow.
I think I told you this story. I don't think I've told it on the pod. Went to the pub with the gays wearing a translucent top with nipple tassels on underneath. And I got back and I was like, I forgot we were going to a straight pub. I was like, I shouldn't have worn this outfit here. Everyone keeps staring at me. And the gays were like, why? And I was like, look down. And they're like, oh, I hadn't noticed. I'm like, we've been here 3 hours and you didn't notice my fully exposed breasts.
Yeah, they're like, oh, look how covered you are today.
Yeah, so I think we can do the assless chaps. No one will even blink.
Yeah.
All right, back to do you have back to your outfit? Boob pillow, Madam Web. Do you have any other faves?
Boob pillow. Oh, we'll have to go back. We'll find, because we could even go deep cut, like season 1, like outfits, because she definitely had outfits then as well.
I like the pink dolly look she does sometimes.
Yeah, the big. Yeah. Okay. Do you know what? We're gonna go back. Oh, I'll at least go back.
It'll be incredible. All right, mission. Ball is rolling on Patrick. They've selected 3 most influential players, Nada, Sexy Steve, and Patrick. So that was clearly bullshit. And this is the hangman mission. So those 3 people are going to be dangling in the dick-enhancing harness while everyone else plays hangman. Thank you, Jesus, for Sexy Steve there. And basically, long story short, they end up having to sacrifice one of them. So 2 people will get a shield. We've got to decide which one is not getting a shield. And unfortunately, that person will also be gagged. So they're going to be out of the game until the round table. And then at the round table, they're not allowed to say a word. And they're like, well, I guess it's you, Patrick. Sorry, Patrick.
Thinking about it just then, I have a feeling, sorry, spoilers for the equivalent season of Canada, but I have a weird feeling that Cara was in the exact same spot as, I think the words just naturally allowed it for the person who was in the Cara and Patrick spot to always drop.
Oh, was she in exactly the same one?
I think they were both on that far right one. Because I remember Hollywood was that first one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then Dom was in the...
It was Dom, yeah.
Yeah, so I have a feeling it was just the words. They keep putting these words. They just really... They have too many letters. Too many...
Not as many common letters. Yeah. Okay, look, you could have been screwed here, Patrick. I mean, you were screwed here, Patrick, for many reasons. In the cast home, people are debating, is it too evil to still vote out Patrick when he can't defend himself? Obviously, Camille Rose is Audrey's sister, so she doesn't give a shit. But Jacob and Sexy Steve, they're like, no, we're not doing this anymore. This is super evil. And Jacob is still cooking. He's with Elaine. He's like, if nobody is speaking in defense of Patrick, which they're not, it means the traitors are completely fine with him going. So either he is a traitor they've recruited to throw him under the bus, or he's not a traitor. He's like, there is still a fully intact group of friends. Not a single one of them has been murdered or banished. It has got to be one of them. And Elaine is so on board, but Elaine is also a chiller. Elaine's not going to speak up. She has been roasted way too much.
Yep.
So back at the mansion, the group have split up. They're pushing Pat as their first choice with Steve and Elaine as backup options. Oh, and I should add, at this point, Genevieve, Camille, Rose, and Justin have made a final 3 agreement. Mm-hmm. And Genevieve is going to pretend to Peter Stevo that he's included in this. He's like, it's the 4 of us, final 4. Again, they've been seeding each other's names, but doing a really kind of half-assed job of it, and they're still pretending not to hate each other. And we are going to go... Oh, and Jacob has this chat with Jen and Camille Rose, where he's like, yeah, I agree. Patrick is a traitor, whatever. And he's like, my God, they're pushing this so hard and aggressively. He's like, they have got to be traitors too. So we head into the round table. Elaine is in all white with suspenders holding up her trousers and a lot of costume pearls. Corinne is doing wedding dress meets Moulin Rouge. Are we ready for a dramatic round table reenactment? Get ready for the dramatic, vibes-only roundtable reenactment. Nada opens. I am going to speak for Patrick, as in life, I speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. And Patrick wants you all to know he is the traitor and hates you personally, Elaine. Patrick screams with his eyes. Elaine, that feels homophobic, but okay. Not a yes. Yes, Patrick wants you all to know that not only is he the traitor, he's also a homophobe. And he is personally and entirely responsible for sabotaging Carol's game. It had nothing to do with either Carol or Justin. These are Patrick's words, not mine. Patrick starts sobbing uncontrollably. Jacob, twirling mustache. Yes, Patrick is undeniably a traitor because he was recruited by 2 traitors who have been suspiciously eager to ensure he is voted out before he gets a chance to speak. Camille Rose and Genevieve? Nada. My God, you're a fucking idiot, circus freak. Jen, let's not get distracted. We have a confirmed traitor and homophobe sitting right there. Look, he isn't even speaking up to defend himself. Patrick stares at the table, contemplating whether it would be less painful to just actually die. Jacob, yes, Patrick hates gay people and is a traitor, but why is Camille Rose here after pointing out several traitors when others have died? Why is Genevieve finally talking? Why is she so eager to get rid of the freshly recruited traitor now? And why are they so fired up, Camille Rose? I am not fired up! Sexy Steve. Patrick, I have to vote in a way that honors my values. And as a confessed traitor and homophobe, I can't conscience having you in the game. But I also won't vote for you as a man doing manly man things. Nada, I will literally kill you, Stephen. Patrick breaks into 1,000 pieces. Everyone votes for Patrick, including Sexy Steve, except for the pieces of Patrick who rally together to vote Nada. He is a broken man sobbing, and Sexy Steve gives them all a lecture on the way out. End scene.
Oh my God, Annabel, you kill me.
Poor Pat. I was really upset by this.
Because last time I think, sorry to spoiler, kind of, not 3. Kara, I think, was the silent person. Well,
yes,
she was, and she didn't. Nothing really happened in regards to that. She didn't have.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Like, I don't think anything, but it wasn't like, so I will speak for the unspoken for.
He was so upset, and it really upset me. He was crying like me at the Guyton banishment.
Yes.
And I messaged him afterwards, and thank God he responded. I got to see his Bibles. His Bibles were iconic. He's put so much effort into them. We love Patrick. It was just insane. It was just insane. And I'm so glad that this is going to, I just want this to come back to bite them, because post roundtable, Nada is like, oh, I'm so influential and yet so wrong. But also won't concede she's the problem. She's like, I must be being manipulated. And I'm like, girl, you're actually not. Like, you're coming up with this all by yourself.
Yeah, you're creating, you are gathering your own personal whatever evidence, and you're collating this to create a case for all these people. Also, I feel like I wanted to clarify, when you said Patrick showed me all his Bibles, I was very confused. I was like,
okay.
You mean
no.
Traitors Bibles?
Not he. I don't want to sit down and discuss Jesus with him, but he had made Bibles on like how to play the best faithful game and how to play the best traitor game, and translated them into English for me. And I was just like, oh, you just put in so much thought into this, and you really wanted to play and be there, and
he made it fun.
He did really well.
He went as far as you.
And so bloody Camille Rose and Nada are like, someone's manipulating me. I'm like, the traitors are literally trying to point you at them. Like, Genevieve wants you to look at PS. PS wants you to look at Genevieve. You are the ones who are like, no, it's literally anyone else. You and Justin are the problem. Anyway, everyone is like, okay, that was super weird. Justin's like, I need to protect the girls because the girls are going to get some heat now. And the girlies are my traitor angels. So he pulls aside Nada. He's like, look, it's probably Camille Rose and Genevieve's probably the follower. Jacob, though, he's properly cooking. He sits them down. He's like, guys, I know it's a little bit annoying that Patrick wasn't a traitor, so my argument's not as strong, but like straight up, I think it's you. Genevieve denies. Camille Rose patronizes him. And they're just trying to work it out. Like, Camille Rose wants to point the finger at PS. He's my angel. Justin pulls aside PS, and he's like, I think it's Camille Rose and Genevieve. Yes, says Peter Steve-O. And Steve's also looking at John. He's like, Jen, Nada, someone in your group is a traitor. 2 of you are probably traitors. The other one's being manipulated. Jen's like, well, actually, it's Nada who tells me what to do. He dobs her into Nada. Nada pops off on her. Do you think this will fracture them? I mean, that's getting into predictions territory, but do you think it's going to fracture them?
Yeah, I think this is the beginning of this whole episode was about, look at this mega group and look at this actual strong evidence on why these two were acting crazy, like as in too aggressive about this one person who's now a confirmed faithful. I think that's sort of, we're going to have the coup of some variety.
At least one of them has to be sacrificed now.
Yes.
And Justin's name is not being brought up.
No,
They're all like, it's got to be, sure, there's only 4 women left at this point, but we think it's you lot. And again, Justin, whether it's, it must be because of how honest he's been, people seem to think it's not him.
Yeah.
So going into the conclave, they're sort of throwing around a lot of names. They'd love to murder Sexy Steve, but he's got a shield. She's making Peter Stevo promise not to turn on her. They're like, Jacob, Javier, Justin, but they don't really want to kill Justin. They're like, okay, should we do Jacob? There's sus on him, but he's definitely coming for me. Elaine is always going to side with Jacob. Javier is absolutely going to side with them, but is he starting to get a little bit sus? So before we get into predictions, shall we do Babe's Dictionary and Crush Pyramid?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Let's do the Babe's Dictionary music.
Okay.
Babe's Dictionary. Babe's Dictionary. So, we actually have a call-in for this Babe's Dictionary.
Okay.
Yep. So, are you ready? I am going to hit play into my microphone and hopefully this works.
Hello, this is Trana Winter reporting for Babe's Dictionary. And I thought I would share the word IEL, which is basically the third pronoun in French. So French is a gendered language. So words are feminine or masculine. And the male pronoun is il, and the feminine pronoun is elle. But when non-binary started to become more of a popularized identity, or I don't know how to phrase that because obviously non-binary people have been around for a long time, but French never had a gender-neutral pronoun. So when more and more people started identifying as non-binary, they basically had to create a third and neutral pronoun. So they created the pronoun IEL, which is spelled I-E-L, and it's basically a combination of il and elle. So there you go. That's basically the pronoun they, them in français.
Fun! So, we are an educational podcast. And, we have not brought you any queer terms or queer slang for a while. So I reached out to Trana, was like, Trana, can you give us some gay French words? And here we have IEL.
Yeah, that's why I'm called Fiel.
Fiel! Oh my God, I'm introducing you as Fiel. Fiel, Chiel.
Fiel, Chiel.
Obsessed. All right, that was Babe's Dictionary. All right, shall we do predictions first and maybe Crush Pyramid last?
Yeah, let's do Crush Pyramid last.
All right. Ready for predictions? Predictions. So, we are going into the final couple of episodes here. We've only got, that's 4 plus... we've got about 9 people left, I think, at this stage. We are going to lose a murder overnight, so then we'll be down to 8. So we'll have another episode where someone else gets banished, and then we'll go into the finale. So 2 more episodes. I think who is going to be the next to get murdered, the next to be banished, and what is our win prediction at this point?
Okay. Personally, I think they should get rid. Well, I think they should get rid of Javier or Elaine. They're too much of a number. And so I think, and they have, well, maybe Javier over Elaine. Javier has nothing. He's nothing on him. Like, actually, he's in the Justin position if Justin had no power, you know? So, yeah, so I think that's that's gonna be the murder. And then in terms of, okay, so I think the next banishment has to be Camille or Genevieve. Um, I don't think PS has got, wasn't enough content around PS. It was just more of encounter of everything else. So yeah, I have a feeling that one of the girls has to go based off just like what their line of thinking has to be.
There is a lot more, and I agree that Javier is probably going to get murdered next. I think it's really between him and Elaine, and I think at least Elaine's name is going around more.
Yes.
If we break down the numbers on the Genevieve side of the house, where I think they would choose Genevieve over PS theoretically, we have Justin, Camille Rose, and Nada. Then over on the Peter Stevo side, we've got Elaine, Jacob, Sexy Steve. So it's theoretically a tie, but I feel like Nada is pissed off with Genevieve.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Justin flipping if he thinks it's in his interest. But I think it's what I think is that if Genevieve goes next, I can see Peter Stevo winning.
Yeah.
If Peter Stevo goes next, I can see Justin and another faithful winning.
Mm-hmm.
You saying you don't think it's Peter Stevo next, it's got to be one of the women. I agree. So I think, is it going to be Genevieve or is it going to be Camille Rose? I think Justin is more inclined to flip on Genevieve than on Camille Rose, and PS is going to push for Genevieve over Camille Rose. I could see Genevieve going next.
Yeah, because I was thinking just then of my Traitors Canada 3 relation of how I was saying like we got given a lot of information that was like, oh, Coco could be going, but I feel like more often than not it was like she was the only like the Traitors kept rotating and whatever, so she was like the stagnant character. We've had the same couple of Traitors for a few episodes now, and we've been given a lot of content that lends itself to this is what everyone's thinking about Genevieve in terms of they're thinking it would be funny if she was an OG. It would be interesting, like nothing on PS or anything really that is, oh, he is under any sort of suspicion or he's making mistakes or anything. It would just be really weird and lopsided if it was the inverse. So, yeah.
We've not heard Peter Stevo since Jacob was onto him early in the game before Peter Stevo was even recruited.
Yeah.
Like, and I do think that, could it be Genevieve? No, haha, is very Coco coded. But the fact that now both Peter Stevo and Jacob are like, no, it's Genevieve or Camille Rose.
Yeah.
I mean, Genevieve is very good. Maybe it could end up being Camille Rose, but I think that they can get the people on board to do Genevieve.
And whether or not it's either of them next is going to have to, if it's Camille Rose, I'm a faithful, then they're like, well, then clearly it's Jen.
Who knows what happens after that, though,
true.
with these people. They could be like, it's Jacob.
Yeah, true.
And I can see, I don't know, I can see PS winning in the event that Genevieve goes next because then the big question of, well, why is Camille Rose still here is answered.
Yep.
Because either they vote her out next, they're like, oh, we were right about Jen, we're probably right about Camille Rose, or you can kill Camille Rose and they'll say, oh, it was Genevieve who was protecting her.
Yeah.
So I think it just starts to make a bit more sense.
Yeah.
All right. I think let's see how we go, though. Shall we finish up with some Crush Pyramid?
Yes. All
right. Ooh, 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 ooh. Crush Pyramid! Crush Pyramid! Philly, who is on your Crush Pyramid?
Okay, so I already sort of did a bit of a spoiler. I think all of these people are not people I had on mine before. So I'm going to start off. I'm actually going to put Elaine on my Crush Pyramid. I like the energy she was bringing. She's still there. Yeah, no, I liked her vibe this episode. And also I did like that every time she comes into I was gonna say the workroom, the breakfast, she sort of always is like, oh, like she's always so happy to be there. Love that for her. I'm really appreciating her hair as the weeks are going on.
She's so good. Elaine is incredible content.
Yeah, so I really like her. Also on the bottom of my Crush Pyramid, I'm gonna have to put Patrick. As somebody who also got eliminated in a weird way, I felt the frustration. Did feel for him when he was crying. Basically, it was just because of like the weird Carol. Just like he unfortunately was just he was almost playing too well for this group of people. Too thoughtful. He was playing the meta in the correct way, as opposed to this weird way where
that Justin's invented.
Yeah,
this is where you're playing Justin's game or go home.
Yeah, exactly. So, really felt for him, and I'm sure he's very lovely, as evidenced by him messaging you back. And top of my Crush Pyramid. Sorry, Bob Justin, you are out. You are kicked off this Crush Pyramid. I'm putting my original when the cast was announced message. I'm a vindicated person. I've got to put Jacob on my Crush Pyramid. He actually has better correct reads than any of these other people. He's actually deducing actual things that are happening in front of his eyes. What? These two people acting crazy, and this is out of character for how they were acting in a genuine way. Yes, so
the circus juggler can put this puzzle together, people.
Yeah.
All right? You and I are like very aligned this week because at the bottom of my Crush Pyramid is Jacob. I'm like, being correct is sexy.
Yeah.
So even though the mustache really not doing it for me, being correct is sexy. He's on the bottom of my Crush Pyramid. Mm-hmm. Sweet, delicious Patrick. Cried on television, famously. Love a man who cries on television. Very sexy. Felt very sorry for him. But top of my Crush Pyramid. Made the man literally shit their pants. Walks into breakfast like the butch former cop she is. The weird 80s pantsuits. Elaine is my queen. She is my queen. And like, long live Elaine, honestly.
Do you know what I just realized? Elaine rhymes with Jane. Maybe there's the former cop lesbian of the Traitors energy is our vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Jane is we said the evolution. Yolaine. Elaine. Jane.
Jane, yes. Oh my God, fully actualized.
There you go.
I am obsessed. Maybe I will see I wouldn't also shock me if Elaine's married with kids and like.
I went just before, if you're watching the video and you notice, I was like looking at the ground for a period of time. I was looking on Genevieve's Instagram. She follows enough queer accounts. She could be queer. Oh. I didn't look at Elaine's.
All right, cute. Anyway, maybe I'll just straight up ask Patrick. Patrick, out all the queers on your season. I need to know.
I called you homophobic on the podcast, but Who are you hate criming?
Patrick is not homophobic.
No.
Okay, it was really homophobic.
He doesn't have Bibles and he's not homophobic.
No, a lot of creative licenses used. He's also not a traitor.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Philly, we kind of covered this at the start, but what have you got going on? Where can the people find you?
So you can follow me at ChiliPhilly. Yes, as I have previously said, I will be recapping Traitors New Zealand season 3 with our favorite Kiwi traitor, Jane. She's finally getting to recap a New Zealand season, so many years after theirs. And I think I will could doubly sort of confirm. I will be recapping Traitors AU with our friend of the pod, Karen from Australian Survivor, who not only did she play with some of the people on this season, and she knows some of the people on that season. So actually, she's met some of them now, I notice, like socially. So she'll probably have a lot of insight on that. So yes, coming soon. What about you?
She's got the scoop. So currently also on Babes, Traitors season 3 Hungry. We're kicking off with Sarah. We'll be recording that sometime in the next couple of days. Over on We Know the Traitors on Rob Has a Podcast is where I'll be doing New Zealand. Please follow us, Babes in the Conclave, on Instagram, on YouTube. Leave us a comment if you've listened. We love to know what you think. Like, I read all the comments and just love hearing what you think. I'm actually thinking of putting together like a little community space for us all to talk, especially with Australia coming. I feel like that's a big one. Yes. I just want somewhere where like the gays, gals, and ELs and pet hets can hang out and chat about the show. So I'm thinking of doing it on Discord. Anyway, let me know what you think, guys. Love you all. See you soon. Bye.